So Falcon and the Winter Soldier episode 5 was probably the most satisfying episode that we've had yet, because weirdly enough, this episode felt like a sort of epilogue to this show. Even though it's not the last episode, it kind of feels like it. Spoilers again, guys, if you haven't seen the episode, but I'm pretty sure if you're watching this video, you've seen the episode. So first off, I want to talk about the John Walker character, and I love what they're doing with him. They are sort of somehow oddly balancing him being a terrible person and a terrible superhero, but also making him feel relatable, and you do feel bad for him, even after he killed that guy and beheaded him. And to a degree, I felt sorry for him. I mean, his partner died, and he's clearly showing regret for what he's done, but as soon as the Sam and Bucky fight starts, you really don't want to like him anymore at all. That fight scene was so intense because obviously we know that Sam and Bucky are going to survive, but there are a few moments in that fight where you forget about that and it looks like John Walker is going to straight up kill Sam. And that was the point for me where I was like, this character can't be redeemed, at least for me, even if they try. But I think the show doesn't want to redeem the character. This is a guy who's pretty much crossed the line and there's really no turning back from it. This guy literally kept on spamming the same head chop ability. That was the most annoying thing in that fight. Any opportunity he got, and yeah, he just sucks even more because of that. John Walker thinks that because he's Captain America, technically, that he can do no wrong and that he's perfect, and that's the major flaw with this character. He thinks just as soon as he puts the helmet on and puts the shield on that he is this perfect being who can make no mistakes. And even in the fight, he's blaming Sam and Bucky for what's happening, and he just yells at them like, why are you making me do this? He's still at that point, after he's tried to kill them, can't see that he's at fault. And then they do this combo move to finish him off, and that was pretty freaking sweet. And then Sam picks up the shield with music from the Winter Soldier playing, and I think it's called I'm With You Till the End of the Line.
You're my mission.
And in that moment, you can almost feel Steve Rogers' presence, like he's looking down on them from the moon. I liked seeing the actual hearing of John Walker when he gets the title of Captain America stripped from him. I thought that was nice to actually show it instead of it happening off screen. And still, he's like, I am Captain America. And it's like, no, you're not. You're not Captain America. Are you listening to everything that we've been saying? That's kind of the whole point of you being here. We're here to tell you that you're not Captain America anymore. So, yeah. And then we get Elaine from Seinfeld. I had to watch this scene multiple times because I kept thinking about Seinfeld. I know, that's on me. But basically, this lady is supposed to be the Madam Hydra of the MCU, or at least in the comics, she once worked for S.H.I.E.L.D., but was a Russian sleeper agent, and then later worked for Hydra. I don't know too much about this character. I'm not going to act like I do. But yeah, it's cool that they're kind of just putting these little characters in small parts, and then eventually they're probably going to have bigger roles. And then we get to our Zemo send-off scene where Bucky essentially is able to show Zemo that he's more than just a killing machine, and I really liked that. I really liked how he didn't just straight up kill him, even though he very well could have. Zemo, throughout his whole entire time in the MCU, has sort of only seen Bucky as a killing machine, and it's cool to see Zemo realize that Bucky is now no longer the Winter Soldier. But when the Dora Milaje say that they're going to take Zemo to the raft, that in my head, immediately I thought General Ross, Zemo, and a bunch of supervillains in one prison is not the best combination or good people. We also get to see more of Isaiah Bradley, which was nice but sad at the same time because we get to see what happened to him and go a little more in depth into his story. Sam just wants to know why Isaiah never ended up being the next Captain America. And Isaiah makes us question what that even means. Is it more just about how a person looks, or is it about the contents of a person's character? He also tells a story that's very similar to Steve Rogers, where he breaks the rules to save his friends, but instead of coming back and getting a standing ovation, it doesn't really go that way. And then he says they will never let a black man become Captain America, and for some reason that line was very chilling to me, especially the way Sam looked up as if he was a kid being told how the world really is. Race has never really been directly addressed in the MCU, or most superhero movies for that matter, but the few times that it has been, like when Black Panther came out, where it was predominantly a black cast, and when Steve gave Sam the shield in Endgame, a lot of people flipped. There are a lot of people that just did not like these things happening. This show kind of sheds light to that. This show shows that for whatever reason, there is always a group of people that does not approve of Captain America being black. It's not like this is a fictional thing. This is something that really happened and still happened. And these people protest diversity in movies. It's like, if you don't believe in diversity in a superhero movie, what do you believe in in real life? A large chunk of this episode takes place back in Louisiana with Sam and Bucky kind of just chilling, and we can have these smaller moments with these characters because we have multiple episodes to conclude the story instead of having to cram everything in 2 hours, which sort of makes you appreciate good movies even more. Oh yeah, and what the heck is up with Sharon Carter? What's the deal there? She's not the power broker, but she's this rich person that's funding things behind the scenes who's hiring Batroc the Leaper. She hired him to kidnap the soldier guy in the beginning in episode 1. So what's her motive? Is she still a good guy? Clearly not, because she's in cahoots with Batroc the Leaper, who is very much a bad guy. She's helping the Flag Smashers. I don't know what to make of that situation, and I really don't want to make any crazy theories because I feel like theories and having too high of an expectation for these episodes can kind of underwhelm what the episode is. With that being said, I think Sharon Carter has had one of the more unique character developments in the MCU because she was sort of just like the new love interest for Steve Rogers. And now, what do you do with a character that doesn't have Steve Rogers anymore? So I guess you can't really blame her for what she's done in this show because Steve basically left her for her aunt. So as you can imagine, she's not the happiest person. And then we get to my favorite part in the episode where Sam and Bucky are basically playing catch with the shield, and Bucky confirms what was kind of implied in Endgame, that Cap told Bucky his plan that he was going to stay in the 40s and then when he came back, he was going to give Sam the shield. But they never really considered how Sam would feel being a black man and being told, okay, you can be Captain America now. And Bucky sort of understands now why Sam initially gave up the shield. In this whole series, the question has been, who will wield the shield? Who will be the next Captain America? Not necessarily who will be the next Steve Rogers. And I can't not mention the super awesome Becoming Captain America montage. Not much to say about it other than it was pretty sweet. This was a longer episode and there were like 5 points towards the end where I thought the end credits would begin, and it just kept going on. It felt like more of a conclusion for most of the characters. The next and final episode will probably be like 60 minutes of non-stop action, and I can't wait for that. Guys, let me know what your favorite moment from this episode was. Also, how dare John Walker try to be Captain America and Iron Man at the same time in the end credits? What an absolute loser. Anyway, that's enough out of me. These were my thoughts on episode 5 for Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Please, oh god, my camera's gonna fall. Jesus Christ. Anyway, yeah, I think that's my cue to go. That's enough out of me. Bye, guys.